It's the Spirit midfield here at Florida State. The Seminoles hosting Boston College. FSU needing to win its last 2 games for bowl eligibility and keep a streak alive that has lasted for over 3 decades. As we welcome you to Doak Campbell Stadium, I'm Beth Mowens, along with Anthony Becht and Rocky Boyman. That streak, the bowl streak, now at 36 straight years. It's 41 years in a row of winning seasons here for Florida State. Both of those in jeopardy here today.
How do these Florida State seniors want to go out? Like center Alec Eberle and Nyquan Murray and running back Jacquez Patrick. How do they want to gather the youth of this football team and try to put one game together today against BC? And for BC, Coach Adazio said, let's not lose to Clemson twice. That's going to be big in this football game, rallying the troops and bouncing back after a big loss.
Struggled at home against Clemson after their starting quarterback Anthony Brown got injured, but he has been back at practice all week, and we anticipate he will be able to start and play today at quarterback for Boston College. Florida State won the toss, and they elected to receive because getting off to slow starts has been a major problem for this team all season long. So they want to get off and get things rolling as fast as they can. And a flag on the opening kickoff from Danny Longman. So DeAndre Francois, the junior from Orlando, over 2,000 yards passing. Second in the Atlantic Coast Conference in passing yards per game. And he just passed Charlie Ward to number 10 all time, Anthony.
He's tough as nails. This kid can take a hit. He's a pure pocket passer, and he really does thrive off tight window throws. He's going to try to put it in there to get his big receivers to make plays.
They'll throw on first down and a completion across midfield. Keyshawn Helton, the true freshman from Pensacola, takes it 25 yards. Will Harris with the stop. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage for Florida State. Cam Akers is the offset back. It's an offense that has struggled behind an inconsistent O-line to run the football this year. But Cam Akers gets the edge, and he's down close to the 20-yard line.
This is what they haven't had, Beth, and let's start the season. You said it. They haven't scored enough points. They haven't been able to generate consistency. 2 plays, 2 big explosive plays to start this football game.
Working out of the pistol, Akers. Terrific penetration coming right up the middle. Connor Strahan, the leading tackler and the middle linebacker out of Wellesley, Mass.
Coaching staff loves this kid, really comes off the football. Again, doesn't have great speed, but it's about instincts. They love the technique of their players, the way they accelerate to the football and can really weed things out when it gets gray with pulling linemen and crossers in the backfield.
A loss of 7 on that play. It's an aggressive defense that has done a terrific job all year of turning offenses over. Hit on the release was Francois, and he overthrows Murray. That was Will Harris on the safety blitz. And it's 3rd down and long.
Francois, it's just been an up-and-down season for him. Been throwing to a lot of young receivers. Started out the game throwing to a true freshman, Beth, in Helton. And he's been consistent as far as his leadership. Coaches say during the week he consistently works with these guys, tries to get them on the same page so they can have starts like this.
Terry Helton and McKitty all go to the right side. Francois looking that way. He's flushed, and down he goes. Caught from behind by Isaiah Duffy, and it's 4th down.
A little game in the front. McDuffie's on the line. He's going to actually pull out and then wrap around and make a tackle here. And again, it's trying to confuse the offensive line of Florida State. You don't see the right tackle able to pick that up and kick out. Stays locked in inside. Again, this offensive line, Beth, much maligned during the season. They must see players. When there's 4 guys in the line of scrimmage, you got to know where they are.
Ricky Aguayo on to attempt the 45-yard field goal. He's 8 for 13 on the season with a long of 53. Couple of good explosive plays to start out the drive, and then the negative play, and now the kick gets blocked. High hands for BC coming right up the middle, and it's Zach Allen.
Who else, right, Ben? It's just their best defensive player. NFL scouts are loving this kid. He's their defensive end, and he's been exceptional, getting that great push and making a huge play on defense.
It started out with promise for Florida State. It ends in disappointment with the blocked kick. And it's Anthony Brown out there at quarterback. He got knocked out of the Clemson game on their first drive last week. AJ Dillon at tailback. Top 10 in the country in rushing, 117 yards per game.
True sophomore. This kid is a stud, 250 pounds. This is a business decision right here. Do you want to try to tackle him head up? Last year against Florida State, he made a lot of guys look silly. You better not just wrap up his legs. You got to gang tackle this kid. One of the most explosive backs in college football. He's been limited, Beth, the last few games with a high ankle sprain. They feel like he's probably been at his best heading into this game.
And Anthony, down here on field level, just the size of the legs of AJ Dillon look like tree trunks out there. As it's tough for a smaller sized cornerback to want to go tackle him.
They'll try him again on 3rd and short, and Florida State standing pat and standing firm. Brian Burns with the stuff. Potential first-round pick, the junior out of Fort Lauderdale, and it's 4th and 1.
I would go fast here, go for it on 4th down. Got one of the top offensive linemen in the ACC.
Quarterback keeper.
I don't know, Beth. Did he reach out? Yeah, it looks like one ref has crossed our line, the other one's behind it. Look, they're both in different positions. Well, they're going to take it.
That yellow line, of course, is projected first down, the yard to gain. Looks like he follows behind that left side.
Hard to tell where the football is at that point. The referee official may have the better angle. You talked about 66 starts by this offensive line, and their right tackle, number 75, Chris Lindstrom, is an NFL product. They really like this kid. They feel like at the next level he's going to shine.
Travis Levy now in the backfield. Little play action. And high pointing that one and going up to get it is Korab Idrisi, one of the 6 tight ends they'll utilize today, Rocky.
Absolutely. A team that's rarely, they use a 2 tight end set, but go with this fast tempo like you see, very unique.
Yeah, what was the line yesterday from their offensive coordinator, Scott Loeffler? We play pro football at about 1,000 miles per hour. They run it, and then they'll play action it.
Yeah, and what they do, Beth, is they pack everyone inside a phone booth. You don't see it. Most offenses these days, they want to spread the field out. They pack everyone inside. They're kind of a mass of humanity. Defensive players are bumping into one another, and they create space that way.
3rd and 7 here. Brown with time, and right at the marker again is Kobe White. And the spot appears to be a good one for BC. Asante Samuel laid the hit on him. And they're going to quick snap it here and run for it right up the middle. And what appeared like they were going to give him the first down there.
Yeah, you know, they didn't want to wait for that spot right there. They just took their big offensive line, grinded it out. That's twice now short yardage. Coach Adazio not really concerned where they're spotting it. They feel like pretty confident they can get the push they need.
They did indeed give them the first down, so this is 2nd down. And with the pick.
It's an excellent job by Nasruddin. They really love this kid, a sophomore, one of the big playmakers, and he just tracks the tight end, follows it all the way across the football field, and watch him jump at this speed, plucking that ball out of the air. Excellent job by the Florida State sophomore.
First quarter scoreless, and Florida State off of the interception by Nasruddin, and the deep throw down the middle, and the Noles will give it right back. Brandon Sebastian with the pick and the return down inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Beth, the ball just hung up in the air here, tried to hit the post route to Keyshawn Helton here, and listen, there's a lot of time on the outside going up the field. Just floats the ball up. There's no safety. You got to throw the ball out in front. He underthrows it. That's a nice job by Brandon Sebastian. He's only a redshirt freshman at 6'1", tracking that football, intercepting it down the sidelines.
And Anthony, this Florida State offense can simplify all they want, but they still have to execute. Still have to block the guy in front of you and still have to throw the ball to your player.
The run, AJ Dillon powering his way down inside the 15 and appears to have a Boston College first down.
I love this kid, man. I'm telling you, man. And Rocky's right. He is thick. I mean, he's got about 5% body fat. He looks pretty when he runs the football, but he's got great feet as well for being so big as a back.
Gain 10 and gains a couple more there. AJ will run it about 22 times per game. He's starting the day 64 yards shy of 1,000 yards, and that's including 2 games that he missed. Jeff Smith is going to try the throwback to the quarterback. Incomplete. Looking for Anthony Brown, and it was Dontavius Jackson on the coverage.
Yeah, coaches talked about Jeff Smith could be a potential fake player here. He's going to go on the jet sweep, get the ball, go across, and then turn back and try to throw it to Anthony Brown. Good job on the backside by Derek Brooks' son, DeKalen Brooks, just finding the ball, tracking it, not able to get the completion.
3rd and goal from the 12. Brown, incomplete. Brian Burns was on top of the quarterback. And what appeared to be a touchdown in the making for BC, a couple of penalties set them back. They'll have to settle for the field goal attempt.
Brian Burns at the top of the screen gets great inside pressure, and you got to hit the quarterback. See him come inside. The young sophomore right tackle, Ben Petrula, and those hits will take its toll for a guy that got knocked out of the game last week against Clemson, Beth.
A rarity for BC. Colton Lichtenberg has only attempted 6 field goals all year. This one a 29-yarder, and it is no good. A red zone attempt, and it comes up empty for BC. We remain scoreless in Tallahassee. Missed opportunity for Boston College. A missed field goal attempt. Florida State had a shot early, and they had a field goal attempt blocked. And we remain scoreless. Rocky?
Guys, really noticeable down here. I'm on about the 15-yard line. Boston College's defensive line is playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage right now. Seeing a lot of penetration.
Final minute of this first quarter. The pitch to Helton on the jet sweep. A big collision at the 20. He stays on his feet. And he's got a first down out across the 35.
Man, what a hit by Lucas Dennis, number 21. But this is a heck of a job. This is a true freshman here, Keyshawn Helton. Watch him take this shot. Boom, right there. That could be a helmet to helmet. He's able to bounce on the outside and make that play there. That's an excellent job by him. It looks like they're not going to say look at it again.
Gain of 23 yards, and it certainly appeared, Anthony, that they could have considered a targeting here.
I watch Dennis coming downhill with this force right here, 21, and take a shot. You know what? He was kind of pulling his head in front of the player, and they ran into each other. I like that was a no call on that play, but that was a massive shot that the true freshman took.
Quarter comes to an end. Florida State and Boston College, an ACC showdown on a gorgeous fall day here in Tallahassee. Start of the second quarter, and a 2nd and 5 for DeAndre Francois on the Seminole offense. Jaquez Patrick shoves his way forward for a few yards. Looks like he's got the first down yardage. Military Appreciation Day here at Doak Campbell, and a nice moment during the timeout. A homecoming and a lot of hugs. Get in there, little fella. There you go.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Beth, those little kids were not letting go of their dad all the way into that tunnel. That was special.
Patrick will run it here on first down. Yeah, we had a nice flyover, a B-52 Strato Fortress from the 20th Bomb Squadron. Second bomb wing out of Barksdale Air Force Base. They came a long way from over near Shreveport, Louisiana today. lot of Patrick now for the second game in a row for Florida State.
You know, he's a downhill runner. They like his power. He's a big back, 6'3", 235 pounds. But sometimes when you hit the hole fast, you get those key blocks, he can get you those yards.
The interception, the pass thrown behind the receiver. And look who it is. Hamp Cheevers, his 7th pick of the season, the most in the country. And he takes it 22 yards the other way.
Super aggressive corners here. They may be undersized, but they understand the play. But that's a ball that's thrown behind the wide receiver. That's DJ Matthews getting his first pass. Watch that. Throws it on the inside. Poorly thrown ball. That's 2 now for DeAndre Francois, and he's got to be disappointed. Now he's shaking his hands thinking, you know, it could be him, could be the receiver. But either way, both of those players weren't on the same page.
Second interception of this first half for Francois. And Boston College has it with the short field. Travis Levy is the offset back alongside Anthony Brown. Gonna try the reverse. Everybody getting a touch here. Jeff Smith has to throw it away.
If I drew this play out, Beth, you'd see a lot of scribble. So we may just let it run.
You'd run out of ink to try to draw that one up.
Coach Adazio talked about, look, we got a lot of trick plays. We're going to try them today. You know, they feel like they can get some of these DBs to bite. Good job by Florida State, not falling back.
You get tipped by Frederick Jones right here, too, I think.
And there's a receiver at the bottom of your screen right in the area there. So, yep, it gets tipped as well.
On second down, AJ Dillon bounces to the outside, caught from behind by Brian Burns, and Brian able to hold him up till some buddies came.
It's amazing. I mean, he's so strong and powerful. He does look, he's got a little bounce in his step. Full jump cut on that last play. He's got excellent feet. 250 pounds, folks. No body fat on this young man. He is a specimen.
6 yards away from 1,000 on the season. Will he get it right here? Cutting back inside and cut down at the 40. Nasruddin went low. And it's 4th down.
Oh, Brian Burns is going to get tested on the edge today. He's got tight ends cracking on him. He's going to have to be active. You can't just rush the quarterback. It's a good job of funneling it out and let your DBs come down and make a play. Now, 4th down. Looks like BC is going to take a chance here, 4th and 4.
Anthony Brown batted down at the line of scrimmage, and Florida State will take over on downs. Still scoreless in Tallahassee. And it's back to DeAndre Francois. A couple of interceptions thrown today. And after the last 2 games, Anthony, where he was under 50% accuracy, he's under 50% again here in the first half today.
His mentals are going to be tested today. I mean, listen, the first interception he threw was an underthrown ball. And really, I don't know if the route was short on the last interception, but the ball was thrown way before the receiver coming down on his break. So 2 poor passes by Francois.
Looking to go up top and coming back to make the catch. Down at the 25-yard line is Tamarian Terry. 32 yards.
Tamarian Terry's been doing this all season. The ball's underthrown again, really, Beth. It gets bobbled, and he's able to get his hands under it one more time. Watch this. He double catched it. It's really good coverage there by Sebastian, getting his arm in there, but he's able to track the football and lock it in.
Francois ran out of time, throws it away.
Now watch this. Look at the concentration. Sebastian gets his arm in, and that ball's about to hit the ground, coming out of his hands, and he's able to snatch it quickly. He is a prospect. This kid is a playmaker, Beth. He's 6'4", 205 pounds. They really like what he's done this season. He's come on strong, especially at the end of the year.
Averaging nearly 20 yards per catch. He's averaging a touchdown nearly every 4th catch this year. Designed run for Francois down to the 20.
That's the second design run we've seen out of Francois, something that's normally not a part of his repertoire, but I know Florida State fans love to see more of it.
Francois has Akers alongside him. They need to get down to the 15 for a first down. The throw is a completion, but it is short of the marker to the 18-yard line. DJ Matthews, a gain of 7, and what do you do here on 4th down?
You take your points. I mean, hey, I take a chance here. If I'm the offensive play caller and give your guys a chance, you got to run a route that's at least 10 yards, though, Beth. Catching it at 7 yards is not going to help your offense. All
right, so here we go. Boston College has already blocked an Aguayo kick once today, a 45-yard attempt. This one will be 35. Number 2, Zach Allen, is the one that got it. Came right up the middle. And this time, Aguayo gets it up and through. And the lead for Florida State, 3-zip. Honoring Charlie Ward today on the 25th anniversary of his Heisman Trophy and that 1993 National Championship, and he's with Rocky.
Yeah, Beth, I'm down here with big number 17, Charlie Ward, Heisman Trophy winner 25 years ago. Charlie, just talk about some of the memories from that experience.
Well, it was definitely a great year for us. We had one mishap. It was against Notre Dame, fighting Irish, but we were able to overcome that game. And there was a lot of great memories during that time, but winning that championship was the best.
So give us your thoughts right now on this Florida State offense, DeAndre Francois. What do you see out there?
Well, he's struggling today, making some decisions, but defensively we stepped up our game and bailed us out. But I think, you know, when it's all said and done, we'll continue to play well, offensively, hopefully, and defensively continue to pick it up.
And we're seeing some of your highlights right now. Charlie, tell us what you're up to. Obviously, you had a great career in basketball in the NBA for over a decade. What are you doing right now with your time?
Well, I'm currently the boys basketball coach at Florida High here in Tallahassee, and I do a lot of public speaking.
Charlie, thank you so much.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Rocky. Charlie Ward, the two-sport star here at Florida State. Boy, was he fun to watch on the football field and on the basketball field.
He was. I remember him from the Knicks. I mean, just some memorable games on this field. And was there a little tension, Rocky, there? Notre Dame, he kind of got a little, started to puff his chest out a little bit when he started talking to you.
Well, the Irish, by the way, right now, early in the third quarter, leading Syracuse 20-0. There's your Notre Dame update, Ron.
Yeah, right before we're getting going, he looked at me out of the corner and he said, "Where did you used to play? You play at Notre Dame?" I was like, "Yeah," and he kind of got a little bit of a smirk or a grin, whatever it was.
Florida State's defense has come to play today, causing turnovers, doing a lot of things. That's the Kalen Brooks there. That's Derek Brooks, the great linebacker here at Florida State, and getting penetration, some good push. And really, you know, you got to hold on when Dillon gets the football, and that's how you bring him down. You gang tackle him. Nashville Dean doing a nice job of inserting himself at the safety position. See if Florida State can get off the field again.
On 3rd down, the throw, 1st down, Tommy Sweeney. And that'll move the chains.
Yeah, they like Sweeney. He's one of the top receivers on this team. He's a blocker, a little bit of a throwback player. That's a nice throw. That's the first completed pass after going 0 for 6 for Anthony Brown.
21 yards on that strike. Boston College trying to get something going offensively. Quiet so far on the road here. And you mentioned it at the top of the program, Steve Adazio, saying we can't let Clemson beat us twice. We can't have a hangover from a disappointing loss a week ago. And the offense certainly has stumbled out of the blocks here.
Yeah, I mean, the balance is usually what this team is known for. Only 96 yards today. And AJ Dillon, you know, they're continuing to run him. You think over time he can get a big run. And
Marvin, a big-time recruit out of Houston. Looking for a little more pass rush today. They don't have a sack. They've been able to force a couple of turnovers. It's 3rd and 8 here on Brown's throw out of bounds. He's just 4 for 11, 33 yards today.
Doing a little play action pass. I like, you know, on the film, a little more of the RPO, read option, pull and throw inside to get it to the tight ends and slot receivers. They're trying to do more of a little pro style effect in the passing game. Just hasn't been successful. They got to gain confidence in this young man on some of these throws.
Rifles that one to his tight end. Caught for a first down, down inside the 40-yard line. It's Sweeney. Samuels had the coverage. They got a bunch of guys out there, a troop of tight ends that are about 6'5", 250. A multitude of mass, if you will, Anthony. And Sweeney's the top guy, and here he is again. Check it. No, that's Adrizic. Knocked out of bounds at the 4.
It's a nice design play. Watch Adrizic. He's just going to be attached to the line. He's going to sneak out here. They have another receiver that's going over the top, and they kind of lose track of where he's at. You see the corner running with the receiver down the sidelines for a gain of 35 yards. Well executed. Again, another tight end. You got to find these guys best. Sometimes there's 2, there's 3 of them in there. They got 3 in the game now,
including one lining up as a fullback in the eye in front of Dillon. 1st and goal. AJ with a nice block from that tight end. Touchdown behind Ray Martin. And Boston College has the lead.
Got the big uglies pulling around here. Good job by the fullback, making a big block on the edge, and that really was the difference. Maybe a hold on Brian Burns on the outside by the tight end, but the referee doesn't see. Look at pulling on his collar. They missed that one, but that's a walk-in because of it, and I could be happy about that when they watch the film after this game.
Tight ends most of the way with Sweeney, Adrizic, and then the nice block by Martin getting Dillon into the end zone. 7-3. Boston College, 77 yards in 8 plays. Bobby Petrino let go. A lot of talk swirling around Purdue head coach and former quarterback Jeff Brom. You think they may go in a different direction?
Yeah, I'm going to cut him out of the equation. I mean, that makes a lot of sense for people. I don't like the move laterally. I like Scott Satterfield, Mike Norvell. These guys have proven themselves, especially Coach Satterfield. He's developed talent. He's recruited well, and I think he deserves an opportunity. Luke Fickell at Cincinnati, look what he's done in just a short time, turning that program around. And you saw one other name, Charlie Strong on the bottom.
Going back.
Maybe bring the go back to what worked, right? Sometimes it wasn't broke. You bring back what was there.
And Anthony, I live in Cincinnati. A lot of Bearcat fans are hoping Luke Fickell is not mentioned in that conversation. I mean, but what a job he's done, turn this program around in his 2nd year, 9 wins. You know, they're going to face UCF here today.
Rocky, what do you think of that matchup? That could be a huge win for Fickell and the Bearcats.
Oh, my God. Everybody in Cincinnati buzzing the entire week about that game. And like you said, it's just, I mean, I look at their schedule for the year, and I thought, okay, maybe there's 4, maybe 5 wins on their book. They're led by their defense. Warren, that running back, is just running over people and just really doing a good job. I think they have a chance. If they keep things, you know, kind of tight early and don't let it get out of hand, I think they have a chance late.
And the reason why his name's going to become popular, Rocky, and he's developed talent. You're able to get players to go out there and really play that aren't 3, 4, 5-star guys, and he's done it quickly. That's big. That's things that Willie Taggart's going to have. These are the things you have to do to get that kind of talent to succeed on the field.
21 yards there to DJ Matthews, who found some open space out across the 40-yard line. Cam Akers flips it on the reverse. Harrison across midfield, 1st down, and down to the 45. 13 yards there.
Yeah, a little reverse action here, and then Cam Akers going to flip it to Harrison. Harrison getting some work today along with Keyshawn Held. Watch the quarterback here trying to get a block right here. Wasn't great. Maybe some people will call it a little bit of a flop, but hey, he did his job, got his hands on the defender. He's a competitor. You got to like it.
Has some time and fires that one up.
Charlie Ward got it.
Nice catch by Charlie.
Charlie's like, who the heck you throwing that ball to? Well, watch his face here. This is I think it was a one-handed catch, Beth. But watch, he's like, where are you going? Like, what? Okay, where's the receiver? Very serious catch there.
He's a very stoic guy. There's no question about it.
He's like, what? Okay, just trying to figure out what's going on here.
143 yards passing here in the first half. on the ground. Akers down to the 21. 1,000-yard rusher a year ago, set a new freshman record here at Florida State after arriving as the top running back recruit in the country. Hasn't been the same this season. Trying to make some amends late. He's lunging down inside the 15. The pitch here to Matthews, thought about the throw. And it'll be thrown down for a big loss. Max Richardson read that one the whole way, and a loss of 9.
You know, DJ Matthews is a sophomore, Beth, but when you run a play like this, you got to go give him all the other scenarios, all the bad things that can happen. So if he's behind the line of scrimmage, you don't take a play behind. Right here, if it's not there, there's nothing else. There's no other options. Throw the ball out of bounds. He tries to make something happen looking back, and they get a huge loss now because of that, making it 2nd and 19.
Under 2 minutes to go. Francois incomplete. Had a man at the 6. McKitty hit by Will Harris.
Now he throws a fireball in that hole, and when you're a tight end or a receiver coming out of the break like that, you've got to be ready to catch the football. Watch this. As soon as McKitty turns around, you got to get your head around and find the football. If anything we know about Francois, he's trying to get that ball in there fast, and if you're not ready for it, it's going to go right off your face mask like it did there.
Third down and 19. They can still get the first down around the 3-yard line. Trips left. Francois looking that way and delivering down to the 9-yard line to Helton. It's going to be 4th down.
I would go for this here. It's 4th down. Again, coach is going to go with the kick, but I mean, listen, you got to score some points here. 7-3. I know you're trying to keep it close. They're a little indecisive. They have some timeouts if they want to think about it. And I get it, you know, it's 5 yards to get, but got to carry a little momentum. Guys are kind of moving. You got them, the defense on their heels a bit, but they're going to go probably with the sure thing here.
25-yarder for Aguayo. Made a 35-yarder and had a 45-yarder blocked. The 25-yarder is good, and that'll make it 7-6. The BC will receive to start out the second half. 7-6 Boston College after this short break. Chris, Jim, and Emmanuel will join you from the studio with the halftime report. AJ Dillon with a 4-yard touchdown run. And Ricky Aguayo with a couple of field goals for Florida State. And it's a 7-6 BC lead as the Eagles get set to receive the kick to start out the 3rd quarter. Boston College looking for its 8th win of the season. Florida State looking to get 1 game below 500 with 1 game left to play, that against the Florida Gators. And BC will start out at their own 25-yard line. Beth Mowens, Anthony Becht, Rocky Boyman with you. Neither quarterback able to really find his footing in that first half of play as the defenses ruled the day.
Yeah, DeAndre Francois, Florida State, Anthony Brown of BC, 2 interceptions each. Haven't been able to get the passing going. The one bright spot for BC, AJ Dillon with 65 yards rushing. I believe they continue to give him the ball. He can break a big one. In an ugly game like this, Beth, you lean towards a team like Boston College because of the way and the style they play the game. Let's see if Florida State can bounce back offensively. They're putting up yards. They're just not making points on the board. 4
combined turnovers, but none of those takeaways were converted into points. Let's check in with Rocky.
Guys, I caught up with Steve Adazio there at halftime. He said, look, early in that first quarter, they were down on the 2-yard line, had some penalties, got kept out of the end zone. That really sent him into a tailspin here, the turnovers. But he didn't play, Anthony. I think you'll be happy. We're probably going to see a steady diet of A.J. Dillon here in the second half.
Okay.
And, of course, Brown will come out throwing here. Kobe White the 30-yard line, and a big play for the Eagles.
This was nice, a little scissors route here. They're going to cross on the left side of your screen. You'll see the tight end goes one way. You get the DB crossing, nobody's home to take the receiver, Kobe White. That's a nice start for the quarterback for 42 yards.
Biggest play of the day for BC. And here's that diet starting for AJ Dillon.
He spins. He's always just falling forward, and then with his frame, his size, a 6'3", even if he just goes straight down, it's an extra 3 yards.
Preseason ACC Player of the Year after he won rookie honors last year with a 1,000-yard season. DeMarcus Christmas able to wrap up Dillon.
And that's what you have to kind of go after. It's a heavy dose. Dillon is a back. He'll get 2, 3, 5, pop a 6, get a 10, and then all of a sudden he'll wear you down as a defense and get a deep one on a big run. They got Levy right in, number 23, is more of a quicker, explosive guy that maybe bounces some of those runs outside. See if they can convert here on 3rd down.
Smith and White to the bottom of your screen. They're going to run it with Levy, and Burns got into the backfield to corral him, and it's 4th down.
It's a nice job by Burns. We haven't heard much of him. We thought he maybe got held on the touchdown, but watch him. He's fast enough to chase down runs on the backside. They don't peel back to block him. Tight end pulls around. You better find a way to get a body on him because he's fast enough to disrupt like a tiger coming out of that backfield.
And BC showing that they will go here on 4th down for the 4th time today. They double team Burns to buy the quarterback some time, and the pass is incomplete. And the Florida State defense holds.
That's the 3rd time they try to go 4 downs, and they've been stopped every time. Excellent job by the defense. They try to run a little pivot route, bounce him back out. He gets a little separation, but the ball is just thrown too far outside. Again, the accuracy problems by both QBs. If you're going to throw that ball, you got to put it right on the outside shoulder. He doesn't get it done.
Looked like a little lane opened up there for the quarterback to try and run for the 1st down yardage, but he opted to sling it. And now it's DeAndre Francois' turn for the 1st time here in the 3rd. There's a big-time catch for Murray deep downfield.
And you know what? Shevers is right on this. Watch him swat. Look at the strength in the hands of Murray to pull that in. The senior receiver, he's not going out like that. He's been getting hot right now catching the football. Look for him to continue what he's done so far against his secondary of Boston College.
Biggest play of the game for Florida State, 45 yards. The throw inside the 10, down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal. Nasir Upshur.
Deep over by the tight end. Upshur getting a chance. A Philly kid down here in Florida. Francois gets time, Beth. You give him some time, he can do some damage. 2 big passes for Florida State.
30 more yards there. Akers, touchdown, and Florida State has the lead.
We know they can do it, Beth, right? I mean, these are the things that scratch your head if you're a Florida State fan. 2 plays down the field, then you get a run for a touchdown, and you're thinking, man, is this what the team could be? Been so up and down, so lopsided, but it's a heck of a drive by them to come out here in the 2nd half.
85 yards in 1:42 seconds. Francois' arm getting it done.
Some seniors, some juniors, some veteran players making plays for this team. Murray with the big grab. Hey, when in doubt, throw it to the tight end. Upshur with the big play. And Akers finally finding the end zone, shaking off tacklers, getting there for Florida State.
Halle Berry wondering what Jared Goff was talking about in his audible the other day on social media. Boston College trailing. They'll take a chance here on the return. with Michael Walker. A flag is down. Now a second flag is down on the return out to the 35. And here is the pitch to Dillon, and cut down for a second negative yardage play.
Asante Samuel coming off the edge, and I don't know, a healthy AJ Dillon maybe sticks his foot there and gets up the field a little quicker. It's been tough, on him all season. You get a lot of those carries, 24, 25. That ankle starts wearing down a little bit as he's getting tackled and taking those low blows.
The pitch back to Brown.
He went to
for
the wrong
flea
guy.
flicker, and he missed the deep ball. He went instead to Jeff Smith, and it looked like he had White further downfield open.
He did. Watch this. Receiver slip up. There's nobody there. He's looking. He's just got to throw it up high. He decides to come on the outside. Big opportunity there lost. I mean, obviously that's a two-man route, but you got to be cognizant of where the safety is. It's a poorly executed play on another trick play by Boston College.
Third down. Brown rifles it across midfield. First down, BC to White. A gain of 20 down to the 45.
Both of these quarterbacks have done some things that I'm just like, not good. And then all of a sudden, against some adversity, they come back and they make throws like this.
To totally redeem themselves.
And coaches are just like, man, that's the guy I've been coaching all week. But I'm telling you, young quarterback here for BC. Francois picking up steam. Might get a little excitement here.
Little play action. And a receiver open inside the 30. I believe that was his tight end, Tommy Sweeney, and a gain of 15.
Yeah, Tommy Sweeney, man, I'll tell you, he's just a throwback, 260 pounds, understands. He's a technician of the game. Watch him at the top of his route. He leans, presses off a little bit, gets the space he needs against Nazarene, and then right here, he's going to take out a couple Florida State players if he can. Down goes Frazier right there, 77. Little smile on his face, falling down.
Ball up the middle for Dillon. Nasruldeen grabbed him around the 26-yard line. Sweeney, by the way, 3 catches now for 52 yards.
And guys, one thing you notice down here when they go with those bunch formations, it forces the defenses to defend every gap. So what that does, it brings off players on the third level, those safeties that can help wrap up Dillon.
Brown into the end zone, touchdown! Jeff Smith puts BC back on top.
Make sure he brings it in here. I thought Anthony Brown threw this a little late, but Jeff Smith tracked that football into his arms, locked it against his chest, completes the catch. Ball doesn't hit the ground, locks it in. That's a heck of a job by the senior.
Jeff Smith had more pass attempts tonight, a couple, than catches. And he makes his first one of the night count. 26-yard TD. 14-13 BC.
Got a little offensive explosion going on here, Beth. Both teams in the second half figuring it out. Down the field, a little hitch and go. The Florida native out of St. Pete taking some pride at the touchdown catch. Jeff Smith getting a touchdown for Boston College.
Back here in Tallahassee, BC with the 1-point lead over Florida State. 6:36 to go here in the third. The penultimate game of the regular season for these two sides. It looks like there's going to be a face mask flag on that. The return for Helton, 31 yards, and probably more to come. Let's take a look at today's hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth Trading Company.
Yeah, it's Zach Allen for BC, defensive end number 2. Doing it all on field goal team, getting that block, chasing down the run. Had 100 tackles last year at the defensive end position. No wasted movement in his arms. He's very technically sound, and he's got great elusiveness when he doesn't have the rush to get his hands up and knock balls down. He's just been impressive.
And Anthony, NFL coaches love that versatility. This isn't college where there's 90 guys on the sideline, only 45 active. So if you can be a guy to play well in the pass, the run, block kicks, that's good.
He'll get a piece of that tackle in a year where the NFL draft experts think maybe as many as 13 D linemen could go in the first round, including Zach Allen.
You know, the one thing about Zach Allen, he's super accountable every snap, so there's no wasted snaps with him. He's going to bring it on the pass rush. He's excellent job of reading the run. He's got enough speed and short space quickness to get the job done as well. And, you know, he's been a menace. He's a guy you're going to be able to count on all game long.
Going deep, incomplete. We huddled up with Zach.
So I want in your best Steve Adazio impersonation, hype us up.
The best one. He's a big about, you know, the team and everything.
Yeah.
So I remember my freshman year, he goes, "When your mind's gone, you go to your spirit, and that's where your team is." So that's the best. That's good. I like that. I like that.
That's where your team is. He's had his hand in a lot of plays for the defense and the special teams, and he's got his hands around the quarterback right there. DeAndre Francois goes down.
Yeah, they bring some heat on the edge on the left-hand side, and again, just falling in to be in the right spot. Zach Allen's always around the football. Just watch him here. He just reads it out. Again, he's pass rushing. He gets a little block. He's just trekking. Quarterback decides to scramble. He comes back off. He's right in play to make the tackle.
And Anthony uses those hands like weapons. He's constantly, all the time, I noticed down here, just batting away the arms of these Florida State offensive linemen.
Punt is away to Walker. Opts not to take the fair catch, and maybe not the best decision of the night for Michael. 43 yards on the punt, and he gets smashed. Well, those look like some soccer highlights here at the Florida State facility. Their women's soccer team won their second round matchup yesterday against USF. They will play Southern Cal in the next round. Just in the last 5 years here, the women have done quite well. Both the soccer team and the women's softball team last year winning a national championship for FSU.
Who's up next for the women's soccer team for Florida State? Who they got?
USC.
USC.
Won the championship a couple years ago. Southern Cal did. 2nd and 7 here for Brown. And C.J. Lewis, yes, he did make the catch.
I'll tell you what.
It's a nice job coming out. It's a comeback route. Knees down, ball is into his chest, doesn't move. It's a nice job controlling the football.
Brown now 50% on the night for 197 yards. He's got a touchdown and a couple of picks. Weaving his way out to the 40-yard line is Dillon. And a gain of 8, Rocky.
Yeah, guys, one thing I'm noticing down here, Anthony Brown, the last few series, ball coming out of his hand a lot better. Early on, it was like every time he threw, the point of the football was facing downward. Everything was kind of going down into the ground. His last 2 drives, much different.
We'll run it again with Dillon. Gets the first down, and now at about 90 yards rushing on the day, his 26th carry. So he's got nearly gotten the ball every other play tonight for BC.
It's almost at 100 yards, and that's a lot of carries. Guys just playing through pain the entire season. Get some fresh legs in there, Levy. Number 23, he's got a chance to go in there and make some things happen too.
Off the play action, Brown incomplete across the middle. A lot of traffic there. Sweeney the intended target.
Big improvement, Beth. Obviously for Anthony Brown coming out of the half. Just couldn't really find a groove in the first half. Second half, he's been much better. And plus, he has the touchdown pass, which was huge late in this game.
They've still been a little antsy in that first half coming off the injury against Clemson, an internal injury that knocked him out of the game. They're now doing a much better job with the balance of Dillon running the football here in the second.
And 3rd down and 3, Beth. And beside the pass here, where's the pass rush for Florida State? I think number 99, Brian Burns on the top of the screen here. Been a little quiet in the pass rush department the last couple of weeks. Can they come up big?
Brown stepping into it, throws, and it's caught for a first down at the Florida State 35. Kobe White and a gain of 20.
Same play. They got the long one last series. Kobe White runs the same route. Plenty of time and protection. Puts it low. Traps it. Catches it in his chest. Watch this. This is a bender. Bends in. Nobody's there. It's a soft zone on the back end, but nobody converges to the football, and it's an easy throw and catch.
Yeah.
And Anthony, that was amazing. They had three, their safety deep and two cornerbacks, and they just played way too loose, allowed that catch right in front of them.
I think it's safe to say their DBs are pretty fast. Like you said, Rocky, why give them that much space? I know you're playing the field, you're playing the zone, keep it in front of you, but there's AJ Dillon limping off the sideline. Once you get near those 30, 31 carries tonight, kind of felt that. But this secondary, I think, need to be a little more aggressive on that play to not give up that first down.
On 2nd and 8, Brown incomplete on the overthrow to C.J. Lewis. How about a studio update? Chris Cotter.
Breaking up 3rd down 9.
That's in the 3rd quarter in the big house. Wolverines right now sitting in that number 4 spot. That would be good enough to be in the playoff today. Just a couple weeks remaining leading up to Selection Day, December 2nd. A little screen here for White. He's having himself a good day.
Yeah.
But we got a flag, though. It looks like a hold going to bring it back.
Got a couple big tight ends on the edges here for Boston College. And as they're blocking on the outside, watch 85 grab the outside jersey right there, grabbing that cloth.
There was no foul on the play for holding. The result is a first down.
Wow. From the tight end himself, Anthony.
Well, here's the coaching point for 85. Get your hands inside. Don't get your hands on the outside. That'll bring a flag. I'm surprised. Just because from a technique standpoint, not being in the right spot, that usually gets called a lot. Yep. Rarely do they pull those flags away.
Instead, it's the 6th catch for White, 106 yards. His second 100-yard receiving day of the season. There is the 30th rush of the night for Dillon.
I mean, what they must have some cream on the sidelines. They're rubbing on him or something, taking an aspirin in between drives. But he's just been a workhorse, and limpy or not, they just keep him giving a rock.
End of the 3rd quarter, the teams will head to the other end of the field. Boston College with a 1-point lead, and they are on the drive looking for more. Willie Taggart was working the officials. David Epperly, the referee there, and he had every right to be after they pulled the flag.
Again, very rarely do you when you get that poor technique, the tight end's hands are out in the shoulder pads, and then you get that tug. That's an easy call. That's why the flag was pulled. Very rarely does that ever get waved off.
That helped keep the drive alive for BC. The pass into the end zone incomplete. It's the 15-play drive over 5 minutes, and it was kept alive by that, what should have looked like a hold right there on the edge.
That's a hold. You can't do that. I mean, listen, you can't get that hand on the outside. Even the tight end look at the referee thinking, oh, man, I hope I got away with this one. Just a bad job by the referees on that particular moment. And well, now Florida State's defense got to step up. Regardless of the call, can you get off the field on 3rd down?
Brown tucks it and runs with it, and he's short. Knocked down at the 11-yard line by Leonard Warner. Got 7. It's 4th down.
I mean, they don't even hesitate to go for it. Man, it's like
all they do is they send A.J. Dillon on the field. That's what they do.
I mean, they've only used their kicker 7 times all year. They got enough tight ends. They'll just keep them coming. They're 50-50 so far.
3 tight ends set, Beth, in this formation.
They'll roll out Brown. The toss for a first down to the 5-yard line. to Michael Walker.
What a job. It's a sprint out. Call this sprint option. Get it out quick. Get your back running across. He's already got speed coming across the field, so it's hard for a DB to lock onto him. Making sure you catch the ball, getting your feet, and complete the catch. That's a really nice job by Michael Walker, a senior from Naples, Florida. Another kid from the state of Florida.
Where the improved second half continues for Brown. 243 yards passing now with a touchdown since halftime. Dillon up the middle, touchdown. His second of the night.
This run is just man-to-man blocking all the way across the board. Can somebody get off the block and make a tackle? It's a nice job by the Boston College line, making it easy. You put a body on a body, that's good enough for AJ Dillon. He can get by those arm tackles with his strong legs.
Extra point is good, 21-13. How about some notable head coaches around the country? Hot, medium, or cold first-year coaches? We got Chip Kelly at UCLA down there at the bottom with Willie and Scott Frost right now.
Yeah, you know, I think Dan Mullen to me is maybe medium. I thought he came out hot, but then he's kind of simmered down. You know, Herm, congratulations to him, man. They got their team's in a great situation right now moving forward. And then down bottom, I mean, look, Scott Frost's team is improving. Chip Kelly's team's improving. You know, obviously early in the season they look bad, but you know, you got to give them time to build their players. And Willie trying to do the same thing here at Florida State.
Jimbo at Texas A&M, by the way, they've got UAB coming up next year. Breaking free and into the secondary is Cam Akers, and breaking tackles run out around the 20.
Man, has anybody needed a run like that? Then Cam Akers finally gets some blocking up front. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm in the second level, the third level, and then he goes to work. Look at the balance there. Doesn't even have to put his hand on the ground. Getting a huge run. Has electrified this crowd right now. Huge play for Florida State.
55 yards to put him over 100 now for the night. And here he is receiving the pass down to the 15.
Did you guys hear that pop up there? I was right next to it, and I know the Florida State sideline loved the way Akers just put his shoulder in that defender.
Took on Strahan and Carafa. Second down here, trailing by 8. Akers reversing field and losing his footing at the 20.
I feel like he needs a drink of water here. I don't know. I'm just saying. He looks tired. The fact that he had to revert around field, they're going to keep him in the... there he goes. He's going to get a little break here. But just like that, third down situation. A big run, and now nothing after that. Got to find a way to get this third down converted.
Right on the edge of the red zone. 4 for 14 on third downs tonight.
It's Marion, number 15, their long receiver at the top of the screen. See if they take a chance, maybe one-on-one coverage on the outside.
It's McKinney. He couldn't hold it at the 10.
Here's the one thing about you see about DeAndre Francois. He gets the ball out of his hand quickly when you come out of your break. You got to get your hands out. And there was a little tugging and pulling there by the linebacker, but that's going to happen. You got to get separation. It's a well-placed ball. Just McKinney couldn't get his other hand out there to snag it.
McKinney was a player earlier. Remember Anthony on that seam route here near the end zone, missed that ball as well.
Got to be alert. Quick twitch when you're a tight end coming out of those breaks. Receivers, get your head around and locate where the quarterback is, because that ball, especially for Francois, is coming out fast.
This a 37-yard attempt for Aguayo. And his third make of the night. 21-16 with 12 minutes to go in Tallahassee. We got ourselves a one-possession game here at Florida State. The Noles trailing BC 21-16, and the streaks are on the line. They haven't lost 4 games in a row since 1975. They've gone bowling every season since 1981. They've had a winning season here every year since 1976. They got to win today to keep that bowl streak alive, the winning season streak alive, and end their 3-game skid. And out to the 25 here for BC, taking a knee. Of course, Bobby Bowden really took this program to a whole nother level. A couple of national championships. Jimbo Fisher added one more. Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell Stadium. Most consecutive winning seasons in the AP poll era. Florida State just behind Nebraska and Penn State. Brown downtown to Jeff Smith into Florida State territory.
They like this zone in the middle of the field. This is becoming a problem area in the second half for Florida State, and great concentration by Jeff Smith here. He really triple catches it.
Jeff Smith. Well, the story of the second half for BC has certainly been their quarterback settling down, finding that balance between Brown and their running game with AJ Dillon.
Boston College is tough. I mean, they got some tough players, tough receivers, hard to tackle. They wait every yard that they get. They take over it, and Florida State's been good against them, but it's been a good matchup here in the second half.
4.5, clock rolling. They'll work that play clock down. And they'll try and punish him with Dillon, his 36th carry. Well, the ESPN app now with ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now.
Just when you think he's tired and he's had all those carries, he looked like pretty explosive with a jump cut on that last play. And this is what it's going to come down to. The trenches, the offensive line, over 160 plus starts for BC. The defensive line for Florida State really been the catalyst for this football team. Zach Allen looks on the sideline as he sees his offense here. Then they put together a 4-minute offense and run this clock down.
Dillon trying to churn the legs for a couple more. They're going to be short. 4th and 1. Cyrus Fagan with the tackle. Do you go for it here, or you try and kick him and bury him deep?
Man, this is... He's going to let the clock go down. He may just take the timeout and think about it, but...
They only have the 1 left.
Yeah. He's definitely going to let it roll down.
Anthony, do you like the decision there to waste your last timeout just to run and try to get them to jump off sides? You'd love to have that timeout, wouldn't you?
Well, we'll find out here because, you know, AJ Dillon wasn't in the game as well. That was kind of a sign that maybe they may not go for it, but you're right. At this point, Florida State's going to get the football. If they were to score, BC is going to be very short on time.
Matthews does have a punt return for a touchdown. He'll call the fair catch here, a 32-yard punt.
Something about Francois in these moments. He just comes up big. That's the next level when you're talking about quarterbacks. Doesn't have a touchdown pass tonight, but he's been picking up steam here in the second half.
Full complement of timeouts. They'll run it with Cam Akers for 8.
He's quietly over 110 yards, and now he's limpy coming off to the sidelines.
Bunch to the right, stacking receivers to the left. Trying to get a line. That's Jacquez Patrick, the running back out there. Designed run for Francis for the first down. Clock continues to tick.
Yeah, the clock, you know, a lot of time. Take their time here, try to get themselves. I mean, want to have a good pace, but yet be cognizant of it. Every time get a first down, that clock will stop. They do have 3 timeouts, Beth. So this is a seasoned veteran quarterback playing for Florida State.
They lost about 15 seconds and counting here before the snap. Francois, deep ball down the middle, got a man, and it's caught. Terry keeps his feet, touchdown, Florida State. to make it a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, they're going to take their time. Make sure you have the right play here.
And now they'll go for 2, so that at best a Boston College field goal could only tie it. Akers back in there at tailback. Francois back at the end zone, broken up, incomplete. So a field goal could win it for BC. They are out of timeouts, and they have not relied heavily on their kicking game all year long.
And this is where a young quarterback has to understand situations, has to have the awareness, understanding when we get first downs, the clock stops, how quickly. Do I have enough time to get up to the line, call a play, and run it fast? Do I spike it on the first down? Again, just very, very cognizant of what's going on with 1:49 and no timeouts.
297 yards passing, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, both of those coming in the first half. The one field goal attempt today for Colton Lichtenberg was a missed 29-yarder. His long on the season is a 38-yard field goal. And Michael Walker will try and shorten the field considerably for BC as he gets it out to the 40. Against the 4-man rush, Brown backing up, incomplete. Had to chuck it away. Good push that time on the interior for Florida State at 2nd down.
And a guy like Brian Burns, one of the elite pass rushers in college football, number 99. This is your chance to pin your tail back and go here on the top of your screen.
Brown to the outside, it's dropped. Smith had a first down and a step out of bounds, but couldn't hold it. 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, the senior's been good with his hands tonight, and ball's a little low. Actually, the ball comes down towards his knee, bangs off, and pops out of his hands. Brown, man, he just can't believe it. And again, you got to be smart here. 3rd and 10. Middle zone's been open tonight versus this Florida State defense.
Brown buying a little time, incomplete. And here comes 4th down. And an opportunity for Florida State to get a win to set up a showdown next week with Florida for a chance to keep the streak alive and salvage the season. Brown trying to get away, and he's caught, and down he goes, and Florida State gets the 4th down stop to take over. It was Brian Burns and Leonard Warner that got to him. 1:15 to go. BC out of timeouts.
Not a lot of folks believe, right, Beth? A lot of doubt. Watch Burns just all day long. You never give up, and this is how you test if your team's still on it. Great effort by them, finishes the play, but how about the coverage on the back end, Rocky, of this secondary for Florida State?
Those guys were covering better than they have all night, like glue on their wide receivers.
Seminoles were in some trouble tonight in the 4th quarter. DeAndre Francois, a 74-yard touchdown pass to Tamarian Terry with 1:49 to play. Looks like that'll stand as the game winner as BC cannot stop the clock.
Add that one more bullet point to his repertoire, Francois, as he's a gamer. Bottom line, he's a gamer, and we saw it against Louisville. Look, Louisville's down, there's no question about it, but he had to bring them back in the 4th quarter. And then you got a ranked opponent This was a very confident Boston College team that came into this house, and he got an opportunity to seal the deal, and he came up big.
November 24th against Florida on ABC at noon. Up next for the Noles. So meaningful because of this moment right here.
And how about the pass protection? An offensive line that's been the line the entire year. Everybody talking down to them. And the one play they needed pass protection, nobody was around the quarterback, and he delivers.
So they need the win against Florida next week to be bowl eligible. And there it is at noon Eastern on ABC. That's it from here in Tallahassee. The final, Florida State 22, Boston College 21. Now let's get you to College Station, Texas for UAB and Texas A&M.